Right. All right, here we go. So I'm going to introduce Rima and then I'll get us on Facebook. So is that okay? I have to sign into Facebook and I don't know what my sign in is. So I got to figure that out. We're having a little technical issue. Thank you for hanging with us.
Oh, I'll pop the Zoom link in there for her.
All right,
Yes,
awesome.
no, it's
All right.
perfect. That's perfect, Tina.
Yeah. So if you guys want to share to your Facebook, that would be great too, because I may or may not be able to once we get going. So Ashley are you at your desk, Ashley? Could you support with that? And then I can forward from yours.
Or Chantel, both of them. Oh, we got both.
Chantel.
All our techies are on. Yes!
I know. If you guys would share to Facebook, that would be really great. And then what I will do is I share from there, but I get to go find my password and stuff. So. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and get going. Hi, everyone. Welcome. As I started thinking about today's Burnout to Bliss and like what we wanted to do with it, because we don't really have necessarily, we just kind of show up and talk about whatever is on our hearts or mind and all that kind of stuff a lot of the time. And I've been staying in touch with Rima since the devastation in Maui. And I just thought that today would be a really great day to have Rima on. Rima is like, we've watched Rima, and those of you that are on know this. We've watched Rima over the last how long has it been now, Rima? A week? Couple weeks? I don't even know. Oh, you're on mute.
You're muted, Rima.
Has it been 2 weeks already?
Today makes 2 weeks exactly.
Yeah, so it's been 2 weeks, and just kind of watching Rima in action, knowing Rima for as long as we've known her, and just seeing how she's stepping up in that community to really rally people, to keep people in their leadership, to support wherever it's needed. It's been super inspiring and it's touched my heart. And so I wanted to bring Rima on today to just talk a little bit about what's really going on in Maui. There's all kinds of stuff on the news, that may or may not be true, all kinds of stuff that's out there and circulating. Good morning, Mark and Sherry. It's good to have you here. So that's what our topic is today. We're going to talk about Maui. We're going to talk about what's going on there, what's really going on there. We're going to talk about how we can support in whatever way that looks like, and all the stuff. So I am honored. Rima, we've had you on before. I've had you on my podcast. You're one of my favorite people in the entire world. Who you are and who you be and what you do is just, I love you. I love you. So I want to welcome you to the stage and tell us a little bit about you and what's going on in Maui.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me and having us on, as I'm going to introduce Mark and Cherry in a little bit. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring this to light. Because I feel like in all the training that we have had in our leadership program, I feel like this is our time, when things, go on, this is our time to shine. And especially, Tina, when you bring this program, Burnout to Bliss, right? This is exactly, we're going to watch the burnout to go to Bliss and see how we do it real time with this. This fire that we just experienced on Maui in Lahaina is probably one of the most devastating things that has happened to the island of Maui, for sure. There's an entire city that's, pretty much almost gone. And so much, and there's a lot of controversy and stories and everything around it. But the real talk is that there are people out there that have and are experiencing truly great loss. And because of the power of this island, we're all feeling it. Everyone on the island is touched by the fires that happened on Lionsgate Portal on August 8th. And because what happened, it took probably maybe a day or two, and everyone was grieving and feeling this sense of loss and feeling this bewilderment and not knowing what to do, and not even thinking of what to do, just feeling it. And then the community jumped into action, and it was crazy, wonderful to see. And we have business owners close their businesses and have opened just to, there's restaurants that are just cooking food to donate. There are, the hotels on the west side are open. There's no visitors, no tourists. They are housing the people that have lost homes. There are, Maui Pineapple Company is not open. Well, they're open, but they are just shipping thousands of pounds of pineapples and other supplies over to Lahaina. I mean, just everyone has gotten into service. My own studio, we are offering free classes all over the place. So we free meditation classes, all sorts of classes we're offering free all over the place. A lot of studios are doing that. So I say that, I presence that to say that the community has really rallied. It's just like no one's thinking of themselves. It's just like, okay, what is needed? And so we get to be supported. The people that are giving get to be supported. And so I get the question a lot, like, how can you help? Like, and I know that there's a lot of talk out there, like, don't come to Maui, this is not the time. This is exactly the time to come to Maui. If you were thinking about it, this is the time. The fares are going to be very low. That's one thing. So it's going to be easy access. But B, the business owners, we get to have that. We get to have that support. Because if you have restaurants, you have my yoga studio, you have other businesses that are closed in order to support the people here on the island, then we get to have that trust up. We get to have that support and that foundation as well. So I wanted to put that out there. I have my friend Cherry and her husband Mark on. And Cherry worked with my son at the theater in Lahaina that is no more. So in effect, not my son is not working, Cherry's not working. Cherry's probably picking up things different places, because I know, and you're going to tell your story. But Cherry is who, is my friends and family send me money, send me supplies. My sister arrived the other day and she brought a huge duffel bag just full of stuff to donate. And she had to like wrestle through the airport. I was so grateful. It was just a big heavy bag. Cherry, you got that bag. It was a big heavy bag. And so Cherry is the person that I am supporting, as she is supporting so many others. So it's this chain reaction. Cherry is supporting others. I'm supporting Cherry. You guys are supporting me. Like, it's a chain reaction. And so Cherry, I'd love, for you to you and Mark to jump on, and you get to tell Mark's story of, because he's given a lot as well. Mark is walking through all kind of fear that he's been experiencing. He's got a fear of heights, but I'm gonna let him tell tell that story of how he walks through his fear. So welcome, Mark and Cherry. Do you guys have your audio on? Can you say hello? Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you guys hear us?
Yes,
hear
we
us?
can hear you.
Okay. Well,
So can you tell us like your story, like what happened? How did you, and because you live in Lahaina, am I right?
so that day on Tuesday, just arrived from a vacation, and me and my kids, we were stuck at the other side because due to the fire. So we stayed there like 11, almost 12, and it was crazy because I was calling my husband and there was no reception. There was no signals, where I didn't even know that the road was closed until I get notified. And I was like trying to book a hotel, and every room was booked. So people were sleeping at the hotels. And then I was like, I'm just gonna sleep.
Oh no, we lost them. Yeah.
I wonder when.
I was
Sorry,
just gonna say the connectivity might be tough, but
Yeah,
good.
maybe if they turn their camera off, maybe I'm wondering if maybe it works a little bit
Okay.
better.
Yeah, we'll ask them when they come back on. And one thing I wanted to clarify, like I said, Cherry, they live in Lahaina, but she was coming back from vacation. So she was on when she said the other side, there's only one road. Maui is not that big. There's only one road that leads in. So if you're stuck on one side or another, then if you're not on the road, if you're not in Lahaina, she was down in the city and town, so she couldn't get to, she didn't even know what was going on. And that, I think, is part of the big controversy here, because what happened, how the fire started, we had a lot of wind from a hurricane that was passing below us, south of us. So I'm talking 85-mile-an-hour wind. So it's blowing down everything, trees, everything. And it knocked down a power line is what started it. And then that sparked, because it's been a drought on this side of Maui, and there was a drought. And so that's kind of sparked the fire and the flames. So now, and so more power lines fell down. So now there's no power, there's no communication. Cell towers are falling down. So there's no communication between Lahaina and the rest of the island for people to say, hey, there's something going on here. And that's how the fires got to rage so long before, fire crews and people like really understood what was going on. So when Cherry said she was on the other side, she wasn't in Lahaina at the time, and she couldn't communicate and didn't know power is down, fires are starting, cell towers. She didn't know any of that. Are you guys back? And you know what, Cherry, it might work if we can't hear you. You got to turn your audio on. Yeah, try that. I don't know. Can we unmute her?
There you go. Okay.
Okay, cool. Try that.
Okay.
So that time I couldn't reach anybody. And then I called my mother-in-law. She's like, he's already in Lahaina. And then that's when I was hearing like there was fire. So I'm like, okay, where is my husband? If my mother-in-law said he's here, where is he? Like, and I can't call him. I can't call anybody. I can't call anyone on the other side, which is like power was off. And then and then a lady came and took us to Maui High. And then a sister of mine from church called me and said, are you guys okay? And I was like, can you pick us up? And then we stayed at her house. And then ever since that time, we've been like having phone calls. Are you guys okay? Like, but the people from Lahaina side, we couldn't call. Like, we couldn't get any a sign or if they were okay. And then my husband finally called, and I was so happy because I didn't know if they were okay, or because he works in Sheraton and he had to drive in the back. And yeah, and I'll let him say his story, his side, like,
Yeah, so on that day, on Tuesday, when the fire started, I came home on that night, Monday 11, and I could already feel the wind was like moving the plane. Even when we were landing, it felt like a Ferris wheel ride because the wind was so strong. And then I didn't know how bad it would be. When that morning, the power was out, and my alarm didn't go off, so I was wondering what happened. From 5 o'clock that morning, the power was out, and then my coworker was getting phone calls because he lives up Lahaina Luna Road, and then they were telling him that they had to evacuate the family. That was early on in the morning, and we just didn't know how bad it was going to be. The way that it turned out was surprising for everybody. We're still talking about it right now, last night, but my concern was my family at the other side, because we couldn't reach her, and she knows me. I know she knows that I'm not the one that won't try to find a way to get it to the other side. But at this point, it was just impossible, because they had already closed the roads, because they evacuated everybody from Lahaina on that Tuesday night. So even I woke up at 3 a.m. the next following day, Wednesday, and I was trying to hope that they had opened the door, but then the way to the other side. But then when I came towards Lahaina, the fire had already spread all the way to Waikuli, and it was spreading going to Civic Center, and they were evacuating people from Civic Center as well. And then the next morning when I woke up, everybody was at Maui Prep right across our place here in Napili. So it had gotten that bad, and no power didn't help at all, because food was just going bad, and that was the other problem, was that there wasn't going to be any resources that might be left for people that had survived the fire. But we're just so thankful that the community, like Remo was saying, stepped up and really helped everybody, because at that point, that's what we needed. If we were waiting for the government to jump in, it would have been waiting for a while, and still nothing would have happened.
We're
But
still waiting today.
yeah,
Yeah.
nothing going on. We've had the president come, we've had the governors, the mayors, but it was the community that stepped in, and you really felt that aloha spirit from the community and everybody. Like even Remo was telling us, her family saying things from the mainland to help the community, and that's where you love. You come to Hawaii for the aloha, and this is the time where everybody stepped up to express that aloha. And even my wife was telling about when I had to go to the other side through the back road. I really didn't want to. I'm afraid of heights. And it was just scary. I was telling her the experience, and Rima was saying, "Yeah, you overcame your fear. You were courageous." And it was at that point where I had to see what was more important, and that was people getting the help that they needed, rather than my own fear. So it's like, yeah.
And go ahead, Terry. What were you going to say?
He was driving by himself to come and see us because we were at the other side. And then, so on our way going back home, like I was a little bit scared, but when we didn't have our kids with us, I was more worried, because I was like, we had so much things in the back that people donated, friends and family, and Rima was like, she was a blessing, because when we were in Vegas, Christoph said, "I have a job for you," and then I got to meet the mom, and she was so sweet, and I was like, "Oh, now I know why you're so sweet, because your mom is very sweet." And then, like, we were just because I know that he is afraid of height, and I had to hold on to the railing, like on the door side, because I know he's scared. So I'm more scared because I know he's afraid. But I was telling him, you must really love the people, and you must really love the Filipino ministry, because you're doing this. We're going back and forth to get donation that people are donating to the people. And we were just going door to door and getting people's messages and say, we need this, we need that. So me and my husband, we just go and deliver it to their houses, because we know that they don't have cars. And I know that one day, like if we needed the help, I know there's so many people that God will send them, So we just thank God, because we have friends and family that are there with one another, and they know who their provider is, and we never run out of resource when we know who our provider is, and who gave those things to us, So like, even if we just got out of vacations and we're doing all this, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to help the community, to help your loved ones, to help, to come together. And this is the time where we have to show love, Ohana. We have to show that, nothing is able to shake us, because this is who God created us to be. We are made of his image, So I just thank everybody that God brings to our life, so we could be a blessing to others. And Rima and Christoph are a blessing to us.
Well, I want to take a moment to honor all of you, right? Mark, Cherry, Rima, like all of you guys, because that's what it's all about. I mean, it's all about helping each other. It reminds me, when you were talking, it reminded me of Brene Brown, courage over comfort, right? Like, when we choose courage over comfort is when we really can be there for each other in a greater way. And that's really what I'm seeing you guys are doing at this moment. So it's been 2 weeks, right? It's been 2 weeks. So talk to us about what is happening now and where support is needed.
Well, right now, so people have been donating like clothes and stuff, and then we talked to some of our church members, and they were saying that they don't need clothes anymore because they've been
They
getting
have
so much.
Yes.
So it's more of like gift cards to where they can purchase like food and like meat from Costco or stuff like that, like just like daily needs. And I know some of them, like those business owners, that their business burned down and they invested a lot in it, and some of them aren't even insured, so they might not even have anything right now. So those are the kind of like donations that they're talking about. But for us, when we were giving them like the clothes and stuff, it was just so that they can get back on their feet, for some that still have jobs, because some of them, they just ran out of their house with this like slippers and shorts, and they didn't have any clothes. So get them back on their feet, that they have the uniform that they need to get to work in, because that's what it is. They got to get back on their feet. You give them the things that they need so that they can begin to provide for themselves. And even after 2 weeks, it's been 2 weeks already, but they're still looking for bodies, so they still fenced off some of the areas, and not all the roads are open. So it's really, as a minister, we pray for people. We just try to speak hope and life, and God will turn it around. God will rebuild Lahaina. And then that's our slogan is Maui strong. Lahaina strong. We have to be strong in this moment, because God is gonna rebuild. God is with us, and we should never forget that. All those material things we can replace, but it's the lives that were spared that we're so thankful for.
And we open our home. Once we got home, we opened our house. We asked my parents, and my parents said, if you want to have it every single day, go ahead. So we're so blessed that my parents said yes to our house, to be open to fellowship, talk stories, service, whatever. Like, my dad is like, go ahead, have it. Like, you could do it every single day. So yesterday we did, we have a service, and we had like about how many people? 29 people at the house, and we worship, we ate, we just, and the most important thing is, yes, you can give things to others, but I know, walking with the Lord, the best gift that you could share and give to people is sharing your faith, sharing Jesus to the people. And when you share about God, that's the best thing that you could ever give them, is sharing the Bible, sharing the word of God. Because I know that one day God will come for his children. So you could give all these things, but when you share about God, when you share about the love of God, that to me, that's the best gift. Showing your love for each other. That's the best gift that you could give to anyone.
I agree, and I think like all that we're doing is sharing our love for each other, our faith. I mean, like it's sharing the Christ-like faith. And I didn't want to cut you off, Cherry, but Maricel is on. She just jumped on, so I'd love for her to say hello. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for working through your fears, Mark. There's a back way to Lahaina. So I'll just set it up. There's a back way. There's a second road to Lahaina, but it's like on the cliff side. So there's like steep drop-offs on that side. So it's not everybody goes that side, but it's a little road. And so that was what Mark was talking about with his fear of heights. That's the road that they have had to take in when they close the highway back and forth. And so he's like, he's had to overcome his fear. But Maricel, welcome. Hello, good morning. Oh, you get to get off mute. Yeah, you're muted. Your audio's not on. We can't hear you.
I think he has to be unmute.
Hello,
There
good
you
morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good
Good morning.
morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, good morning, Sister in Christ, Minister Mark, Sister Sherry, good morning. God bless us.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, if you wanted to share a little bit of your story and what you went through, and then like at this point, like it's 2 weeks later today, what are you seeing the needs are for yourself and the people around you that have lost, that have experienced some really devastating loss? Like what would be how can people help today?
For me, first and foremost, we know, and my wife, God is good.
Amen.
So we never worry for the first day that burn. I know that the burn is not really worse, but the first thing happened when I was here, 26 years old. 26 years I live in Hawaii. This is the worst thing happened to us. So, but until now, I never worry about that. But I'm worried about the people of Lahaina are, devastating. They are so afraid what their properties lost. Some kids are never been found. But for me and Maricel, we are not worried because our God is good. God is, we know that our
has a
God
plan.
is truly
Yeah.
amazing in this kind of situation. And I know we was complete already, but we worry about our friends, our neighbors, our community, especially our, working place. But thanks God because he helping us, the management, to live over here in hotels right now with the help of the government, the FEMA, and Red Cross. And also
So
to our children.
So you guys are in a hotel right now. You lost your home?
Yes, we
Yes,
lost our
ma'am.
home, and then we live here at Hyatt right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, that the hotels are pretty much closed and they are housing people who have lost their homes. And
Yes.
so if someone wanted to support you and help, what would you say? What would be the best kind of support right now?
So right now,
Balahin pa pa.
I don't know right now because the government asked to give a temporary shelters,
But we don't know.
but we don't know when that one. And my wife working place also, thanks God, because I still continues working in Hyatt as a maintenance.
Okay.
So that's what I said. For now, we worry, but mostly our neighbors and our communities, they have a lot of suffering right now. They're mourning about their loss. So how about you?
And I know, and we've put up, I know you have a GoFundMe page, and Megan, you've put that up, which is fantastic. But notice how like Tina's asking me, what do you need? I'm like, I need you guys to help Cherry. And we're asking Cherry, what do you need? I need you guys to help, the other people. And, Maricel, like, what do you need? They're literally living in a hotel for an undetermined amount of time. We don't know, and we're asking them, what do you need?
Yeah,
We need
that's
you to
right.
help our neighbors. It's
Yes.
like everyone is like wanting to give. So it's the aloha spirit. Everyone wants to give. It's like, I know, yes, but help someone else,
Yes. For right now, what I'm worried is we don't know how long we're gonna stay here at hotel, and then we don't know where to go after here at Hyatt. Because we lost our
Our
house, and all is they lost their house, so we don't know where to go after here at Hyatt. That's what I'm worried about.
And then that's what Minister Mark told us. I told him that we lost our personal belongings, like
We don't get
clothes like that.
anything.
So lucky thing, Minister Mark and Sisters Sherry have a good heart for
Yeah,
us.
they
I
help
know
us and
the
our
Lord
church
with them. So that's why they give us a share for shoes, clothes.
yeah, because we didn't get anything,
Yeah.
because we didn't expect that our house we gonna burn because the fire is still far in our house. So you know,
For personal, as me and my wife, just like, temporary shelters, small like pair of clothes, like working working shoes or
yeah,
uniform. So
yeah, because right now I don't have any uniform to use for my work. That's-
So I have a
Yeah,
question for you guys.
and
So the GoFundMe, the link that's out there now. So I know one of the things that Rima and I have talked about are there are things that like people need now. And yes, there's all kinds of government stuff that's happening and, Red Cross and all that kind of stuff, but there's stuff that's needed right now. And so
Yeah.
to get you those uniforms so that, is that this link? So if I donate to this link, will the stuff that you need get to you faster is my question.
I think
yeah, that is the pastor way. Just go.
Okay.
It's part of it. It's
Yeah.
part of it. It would be a part
Okay.
of it for
Okay.
to get them back on their feet with the housing and their needs.
Because the GoFundMe, I think takes a little while to actually get to you. So that's why we've been just like, okay, what is it that you
Yeah.
need? And
Right.
and Mark and Cherry, you guys mentioned like they need food now. Can get so that so I'm already like, okay, great. I'm going to Costco. I'm going to get a couple gift cards
Yeah.
so that because I know you've
Yeah.
been back and forth. Have you guys been to Costco every day, pretty much? Because I know you're back and forth, pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
You,
We don't
as
even
have
count.
you, Rima, as have
Yeah,
you.
so
I have as well. We know the people at Costco. We know, I mean, like you walk in Costco, you walk out, you look at the line. There's people that they have 14 cases of water. Everybody has that's
Yeah.
standing in line. Everybody has
Yes.
toilet paper. Everybody, it's like, and they're driving it from Costco directly to a donation site and dropping it off. And so yeah, I know that you guys have been there. So I think like gift cards would probably be another great thing at Costco to get, so people can
Yeah.
get the things that they need.
Yes. And the one that I really, because Christoph, which is Rema's son. So I called him and he's like, what else do they need? And I'm like, because you're a guy, I don't know if you would be able to help because they're looking for like panties and bras, and I don't know if you know those things, like. And then he laughed, but he's like, you know what, I have my girlfriend here, she will help. So I was like, it was right there, like God's plan is always it's there when you need it, so it's good to have those people that like you can ask you like, what did you need, and then people just tells you, and people are just a blessing.
Yeah, and they did. They went out. I get, we sent them
Yeah.
the money. I'm like, I'm Venmoing you or I'm Zelling you the money that I got. Chris and him and his girlfriend, they took like $400. They went to Target, they went to Ross, and they got what was needed, and we got to donate that. And so that was amazing. So
Yeah. So I wanted to have you guys on for a couple of different reasons. One was so that we could talk about what's really happening, because you hear all kinds of stuff on the news, and this was just a really good way to find out from you guys what's really going on and how we can best support. But really, in a bigger way, it was to support you guys. Like, you guys are literally boots on ground every single day supporting the community. And so if I were to just ask you, what do you need, right? Like, what do you need to stay in that massive leadership that you're in right now to continue to support the community? Like what is it that you guys need from us that we could be able to support you in a greater way?
Well, like what you were saying too is like there's a lot of things that are going on, conspiracy theories, all that stuff. And, none of that stuff is really important right now. But what people really need is because, a lot of the people that were here that own the homes, they already talked to their insurance if they had an insurance. And most of them were given the like part of their insurance coverage. But
Sure.
like a lot of them aren't able to live in those 5 years because of, I mean, even the smell is bad, so a lot of them are going to the mainland and just trying to get away from it all, and even right now that's what we're doing here on the ground. Is that's why we set up our service, our church, donation to the community, where we get an opportunity to pray for them and pray with them and walk them through this. Our pastor, our church burned in Lahaina, so they're already planning a rebuilding for that, but we don't know how long that's going to take. But for us as leaders here, what do we need? Prayers is one. We need prayers and really like even like people like Rima, with like supporting donations, gift cards, just generosity and even just help for people that have questions. If they didn't have insurance, what is the next option? Like if there's people that can donate to help them get back on their feet in their business. Like a lot of people, they invested money for like machines that they got to be able to get their business going, and right now like there's no swap meets. They have no way of so like maybe that's the kind of like people that can talk to somebody that can help them get back on their feet with their business, and how if they don't have insurance, or if they had insurance, like those kinds of questions maybe.
Yeah, Stephanie asked a great question as well. Like for those people that don't have access to a vehicle or Costco, how can we help? And Rima had put in there, that's exactly, it's a great question, Stephanie. And it's exactly why I'm having this, because as I've been in contact with Rima, I've started to understand that like they need the stuff now. And the people that are on here right now, those are the people that are actually like, I literally Venmo'd Rima money. She then can go to Costco, get that card and get that like in people's hands today versus waiting who knows how long before all the programs get together.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
And
So,
that's,
yeah,
that was the other reason I wanted to have these guys on, because like there's many people on here that have sent me money, and for me, I want you guys to know like it's making a difference. It's truly making a difference. So as you think like, how can I help and how can I support? It's really you are touching lives. It's not just like Red Cross, although Red Cross is great and they're supporting and the different, but this is like, it's coming from Tina to me. I'm giving it right to Cherry. It's like, and she's sharing it with people. Maricel is so like Maricel and her husband may not be able to get to Costco, but Cherry does, or I do, and then we bring back stuff for them. It's like so it's really a community. I feel like it's like we're one giant community, one big family here. Like, oh, you can't go, what do you need? I'll go and grab it.
And going and grabbing it means standing in line for like 4 hours.
It's like cleaning up the shelves. Costco, because there's on the island on Maui, there's only one Costco. There's one Costco, one Target, one Walmart, and we're cleaning their shelves.
That's what
Supplies don't come in on airplanes. It takes a long time to ship stuff here, so we don't get stuff as quickly sometimes.
That's what they do, Minister Mark and Sister Sherry, back and forth to the Costco, sharing the one they get in there. So
And share it to people.
Share to people.
They're
So
not hard to
they are amazing leaders to us.
And God is good all the time. God makes a way. God has a plan. Everything. That's trust in the Lord and have with the Lord, and everything we're gonna be all right. We know and we do believe God is good all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Kate. So Kate, there's a question in the chat. Kate has a question. She's on her way to you on Sunday. So she's wanting to know what the best way to support in that is.
And she's coming to Kauai And and so Kate, yes, you can bring things with you, but it just gets to get to Maui because you're on a different island. So you
Yeah.
would, yeah, so you would need to get your things. If you're bringing something with you, you just need to bring it to, if you're flying through Maui, I'm not sure. So yeah, that would be great. My sister is visiting right now because she's going to fly back with my mom, and she checked an extra bag. She actually bought the duffel bag. She bought a duffel bag because she wanted to donate that as well, and then she just filled it, and it was very heavy. Because when we went to pick her up, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a heavy bag. And then yeah, and that whole bag was donation. So she gave me that bag. We went through it, gave that whole thing to Cherry so she can share it out to, you know, whoever needs it. And there's different people are going to need different things. Like Maricel and her husband, they need their uniform so they can get to work, so they can, you know, support what, you know, and some people need, you know, and they were saying like they're still looking for children. There's kids' clothes and toys. Oh my gosh, there was a call for toys the other day. Like there are kids that suffered, and you know, kids they you know, Barbie dolls,
Yeah.
stuffed animals. I gave
Yeah.
up, you know, I went through my house and stuffed animals. Like the kids, this is what they need, you know, this is what brings them comfort.
Yeah.
So, and then
Beautiful.
yeah, gift cards,
So really, I think
gift cards, things like that. Go ahead.
one of the insurance guys, he does the insurance here in Lahaina, and me and him were talking, and he was talking about people that were insured got their money, but he said a lot of the houses right now in Lahaina are not going to be livable in. So like, and he says, you know, if you move down to like Kahana, Kauai side, all the houses there, like the monthly is like $6,000, and it's almost like how do you afford that? You know, just for a family, and that's what like really, you know, we were talking about the needs, like that's what we're facing now, and like. And really, like that's what the GoFundMe was for, is so that they can put down payment into a new home, and then, you know, hopefully try to make the rest. Because I mean, that's just this is insurance, man. He's telling us like that's what the cost of housing is here in Hawaii. It's expensive, and it's like, you know, we're so thankful that people have opened up like even free places where they can stay. But then like what Marisol and Arnett were saying is that you just don't know how long it's going to be, because we don't know how long they're rebuilding. People have been saying 2 to 5 years, and I don't think people will house somebody for that long, you know, to wait. So that's why even the GoFundMe is just a start to where, you know, they can put a down payment in a place to rent, because that's would be the cheapest way. But yeah, like the temporary housing, that's probably where that's the most need right now. I know they're just kind of like, some people don't want to, because we've seen it. We give it to people and the donations, and some of them don't want to take it, even especially those that need it the most. They don't want to, you know. Some people here, we have this donation area in the Pili, and people that are taking are people not even affected by the fire. So it's like you see the people that are in need most feel in their heart that others need it more than them. So that's the thing, and I know they won't come out and say it, but that's just the honest truth. Is that's what they need.
Well, we've definitely seen it here. So I would say, as we, you know, wrap or, you know, whatever, but I mean, like, I would say, you know, come to the island, come bring commerce, money. Money is needed. Obviously, money is needed. You know, they still don't have power in much of Lahaina, and they won't have power there because the power lines aren't up. They can't even turn on power there, so there's still not a lot of power there. But anything that you know that can be, education. That was the other thing I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. Education around insurance and what do we do now, and you know, like I mentioned, the hotels are, you know, closed and offering temporary housing, but no one, including the hotel, no one knows how long that is. And it's wonderful that everyone is giving us a lot of attention now, but in 6 months, we're still going to be in this place, and everyone's attention is going to be off to something else. So, you know,
so Mark, Stephanie might have another idea on this, Mark, but when you were talking about your local insurance agent, that's where the education can come in. So what workshops can those people do? What, you know, can they get on a Zoom like this? Can they go to businesses and hold spaces where people can come and ask questions and stuff like that would be super probably
Yeah,
helpful.
Would be
yeah,
helpful.
that's one of the
That would
things.
be helpful.
Yeah, and I think that they see that he has that, so maybe I can talk to him about it. But that's the kind of thing, yeah, like that we should, like, we just got to get people that know how to deal with it, and kind of get them together. We can do a Zoom, that way we can help one another, because that's one of the things too, like right now, like people don't want to really ask questions, because then it's one of those things that you gotta just sometimes take a handout, because you need it, even though at times you're like, oh, I really don't want to, but that's what we need. Some people won't approach you because they're shame,
Yeah,
shy, and
or
Right.
but
And
yeah,
what I love about
they-
what you guys are doing is you guys are holding the space for that, right? Like, I feel like you're holding the space for the education. You're holding the space for people to come and get support. You're holding the space. And so it's really, really important, whether it's now or 6 months down the road, that you're holding that space. So I want to acknowledge you
Yeah.
guys for that. It matters. Like, it really, really matters as that community rebuilds, for sure. So my wish is that you guys are all self-caring, and I'm looking at Rima dead in the eyes when I say this, right? Like, self-caring and receiving, because you guys are giving so much. You're giving so much back to the community and what you're doing, and that matters, but you get to take care of yourself and receive as well, for sure.
yes.
And in addition on that, the one talking about the insurance. So we talk our landlord, if they get the one we renting had rental insurance, and they told us no more rental insurance. So the thing we can claim, the stuff, the one we burn in
lost.
there, we lost. So cause right now we still using like Minister Mark donation, the clothes, the shoes, or slippers. So but the landlord said no more rental insurance. So
we don't know if we get something.
yeah, we don't know if we get
To
something to
start,
them, but to start.
So we
So
don't
so
know.
you guys had renters insurance?
yeah,
Is that what you're saying? You
We
had
don't
renters
have.
insurance,
don't
but
have
no,
any,
they didn't.
oh, got it. Okay.
no more.
I know.
The landlord,
So all
the
my
landlord,
tools in my working
they don't-
place, it's gone already. It's burned.
Got it.
Our belongings, yeah. So only like 2 pairs of clothes, short,
That's it.
slippers,
And that's it.
and that's it.
So how do
And
we get you? How do
everything-
we get you your uniform? How do we get you? I mean, like, if we got you money, could you get your uniforms? Could you get new uniforms so you can go to work? I mean, like, how do we get you new uniforms? I hear that above all.
Yeah, for me, the Hyatt will provide uniform, but I bring home to wear to wash it. But my shoes is all gone already. My uniform, but they allow me to temporarily wear any uniform that same colors with our department. But my wife uniform is she buy you bought your own,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
She
bought some, yeah.
and then my other job, all tools is burned. So the thing when my other boss called me to work, so I tell him I have no tools right now. So maybe I have to produce in a matter of month. So
Okay, then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work with Cherry. Let us know like what your uniform, what your shoes look like, and let's see what we can do, and we can get you your uniforms that you need, so that you guys can get back to work at least.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Amazing.
yeah, thank you.
Got
And
it.
Stephanie has put a couple of things. So Stephanie is an insurance agent, and an amazing one at that. And so she's put a couple of things in the chat, just for you guys to know the loss of use, but just be asking, right? Like, whoever your insurance agent is or whatever it is, make sure that you're asking all the questions, seeing what coverage you had. You get to ask all the questions. I get that there's, pride and all that kind of stuff, but that's why we buy insurance, right? It's why we buy it. So make sure that you're asking about that stuff. Does anybody, so as we kind of wrap it up and before we close up, anybody have any questions or comments or anything that they'd like to say before we wrap up?
Oh, I think Donise had sent me a question. She wanted to know the name of your church.
Oh,
Because I know churches across the US, they support one another. So what is the name of your church?
oh, you guys are on mute.
Oh, you're on mute, Cherry.
Our church is KC Lahaina.
Casey Chan.
Casey Lahaina.
And I'll get the spelling and everything.
Amazing. Any other questions?
Lahaina.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I think that they can't get off mute. Cherry, can you get off mute? Or any other questions up until then?
Oh, I think they froze now.
Okay.
Dang technology. Wow.
I love the faith though. I love that they're keeping the faith, and you know, and again, it's here. As you can see, like behind Cherry and Mark, the sky, it's still blue, and it's still beautiful weather. It's still Maui. It's still great, you know. So through all
Always
that, we
the
get
hope.
to be blessed.
It's not-
Yes.
Say that
Yes.
again, Mark.
I said Maui's still open, just not Lahaina for now.
Maui's still open. Just respect Lahaina. That's all. It's a grieving. We're grieving that loss, but come to Maui, respect Lahaina.
Amazing. Well, I
Yes.
want to thank all of you
Oh,
for
the-
being here today.
The
Oh,
name of
go ahead, Mark.
the
Yeah.
King's Cathedral.
King's
Maui.
Cathedral. That's it. Thank you.
The one that we at church is actually in Lahaina, which is the
King's Lahaina.
sister of King's Cathedral, but we are one church in many locations. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
So
right
Rima
now
will-
we are is in Oluwalu. On Sundays, we have
Okay.
it at Oluwalu. Yes, at 10.
Awesome.
okay.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank
Thank
every
you.
single one of you for being here. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for keeping the community moving and in love and just in God's way, and everything that you're doing for the Maui community, because it matters. We're watching from afar. We're here for you, whether that's from like for whatever it is that you need, money or donations or education or just holding space like we're doing today. And so, yeah, we get to stick with you and know that I will raise my hand and say anything that you guys need, I'm here. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing your story. It matters. And just wish you all the very best of love and luck as you move forward.
Yes, and thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Tina, for giving this forum, and thank you, Mark and Cherry. Thank you, Maricel and your hubby, for being on. Thank you so much for sharing yourself so authentically and all your big hearts and your faith. You really, you show us how to do it. Look, they're already in bliss. They're laughing and joking, and right, like we get to keep the spirits high as we go through whatever we go through.
Bliss is a choice, right?
Bliss is a choice. I love it.
Yes, 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 yes.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
everyone. Have an
Thank you.
amazing day. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Aloha.
Bye.